Wow, you made it all the way to Act 3. You'll get to meet some important new players in this last act. And now, on to the finale of the Palm Beach Shores Players production of Arsenic and Old Lace.
Our curtain rises on Act 3 to find the window seat empty of inconvenient corpses, and Mortimer gone to get commitment papers signed by the Brewster family physician. He's a clever lad, our Mortimer, and happily for the aunts, he has a plan. As the curtain rises on this scene, we find the living room empty, the cellar door open, and there's some disharmony down there as we can hear. Arsenic and Old Lace, Act 3.
Now, you stop doing that.
This is our house and this is our cellar, and you can't do that.
Ladies, please go back upstairs. There you belong.
Abby, Martha, go upstairs.
Martha and Abby flounce indignantly up the cellar stairs and into the living room.
There's no use doing what you're doing because it'll just have to be undone.
I told you we won't have it, and you just better stop doing that.
You'll find out whose house this is.
Hasn't Mortimer come back yet?
No, and it's a terrible thing to do, to bury a good Methodist with that Yankee Spinelzo. I will not have our cellar desecrated.
Where do you suppose Mortimer went?
Oh, I don't know, but he must be doing something because he said to Jonathan, "You just wait, I'll settle this."
Well, he can't very well settle it if he's out of the house, and that's all we want. What's going on down there?
Mortimer has been busy. He's seen Officer O'Hara safely back to the precinct and left the house once again to track down the family physician. He returns home once more, determined to see the last of his sinister brother.
I'm back. All right, now, where's Teddy?
Mortimer, where have you been?
I've been over to Dr. Gilchrist. I've got his signature on Teddy's commitment papers.
Mortimer, what is the matter with you?
Running around getting papers signed at a time like this?
Do you know what Jonathan is doing?
He's putting Mr. Hoskins and Mr. Spinozza in together.
Oh, he is he? Well, let him. Is Teddy in his room?
Teddy won't be any help.
When he signs these commitment papers, I can tackle Jonathan.
What have they got to do with it?
You had to go and tell Jonathan about those 12 graves. If I can make Teddy responsible for those, I can protect you. Can't you see?
No, I don't see. And we pay taxes for the police to protect us.
I'm going upstairs to get him to sign. I'll be back in a minute.
Fine. Come, Martha. We're going to the police.
All right. The police? You can't go to the police.
Why can't we?
Because if you tell the police about Mr. Spinozzo, they'd find Mr. Hoskins too. That might make them curious, and they'd find out about the other 12 gentlemen, and they'd have to report to headquarters.
I'm not so sure they'd bother. They'd have to make out a very long report, and if there's one thing a policeman hates to do, it's writing reports.
You can't depend on that. It might leak out. You couldn't expect a judge or jury to understand.
Oh, Judge Coleman would. We know him very well. His wife died a few years ago, and it left him very lonely.
And he's coming to tea next Friday, which means we'll need another Panama Canal lock and another reason to get that Spinozza out of there. Well, come along, Martha. We do need to call the police.
No, you can't do this. I won't let you. You can't leave this house, and for God's sake, you can't have Judge Coleman to tea. We may have to call the police in later, but if we do, I want to be ready for them.
You have got to get Jonathan out of this house.
Oh, they'll be out, I promise you. Go to bed, will you? I'm headed upstairs to get Teddy to sign these papers.
Okay, we will, dear, but we're just going to tidy up down here first.
Mortimer races upstairs, San Juan Hill, to get Teddy's signature on the all-important papers.
Well, Abby, that's a relief, isn't it?
Yes, Mortimer's really going to do something about it at last. It just means that Jonathan's going to a lot of unnecessary work. I think we better tell him.
Abby marches to the head of the cellar steps and calls down to Jonathan.
Oh, Jonathan, you might as well stop what you're doing. You're going to be out of this house by morning. Mortimer promised.
Jonathan responds to her demands by coming slowly upstairs to confront his unfortunate aunt.
Oh, are we? In that case, you and Aunt Martha can go to bed and have a pleasant night's sleep.
Yes, come along, Abby.
Good night, aunties.
It's not good night, Jonathan. It's goodbye. By the time we get up, you'll be out of this house. Mortimer promised.
And he has a way of doing it, too.
And Mortimer is back?
Oh, yes, he's up talking to Teddy right now.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
Goodbye, Jonathan.
The aunts march upstairs, satisfied at last that the events are finally under control.
Perhaps you'd better take this chance to say goodbye to Mortimer. Instead, it may be your last. Einstein, get up here.
Oh, it's getting crowded down there, Johnny, but we got Spinalzo covered up.
We need room for one more. Have you got that, Einstein? We handle Mortimer the same way we handled Chicago.
Chicago, Johnny, no.
Yes, Einstein, yes. I'll wait behind the curtain until Mortimer's finished with that Teddy upstairs.
Shut up, Johnny. They've just come out on the landing. Go behind the curtain, the one right behind the couch. Go.
Jonathan slinks behind the curtain while Dr. Einstein roams about innocently. Meanwhile, Mortimer attempts to close the deal with his brother Teddy on the upstairs landing.
Don't do that, Mr. President.
I cannot sign any proclamation without consulting my cabinet.
But this must be a secret.
A secret proclamation? How unusual.
North Korea mustn't know until it's signed.
North Korea? I'll sign it right away. You have my word for it. I can let the cabinet know later.
Yes, let's go and sign it.
You wait here. A secret proclamation has to be signed in secret.
But at once, Mr. President. I'll wait for you downstairs.
The end of this debacle is almost in sight. Much relieved, Mortimer goes downstairs and into the living room.
Ah, you come downstairs now, eh? Keep right on going. Get out of this house.
No, Doctor. I'm waiting for something. Something important.
Nine, please, you go now.
Dr. Einstein, I have nothing against you personally. You seem to be a nice enough person. Take my advice and you get out of the house. Get just as far away as possible. There's going to be trouble.
Trouble, yeah, for you. You get out.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you.
I'm warning you. Get away quick.
Things are going to start popping around here any minute.
Listen, Johnny's in a bad mood. When he's like this, he's a madman. Things happen. Terrible things.
Jonathan doesn't worry me now.
Kimmel, don't these plays you see teach you anything?
About what?
Well, at least people in plays act like they got sense. That's more than you do.
Oh, do you think so, do you? Do you think people in plays act intelligently? I wish you had to sit through some of the ones I have to sit through. Take the little opus I saw tonight, for instance. In this play, there's a man. He's supposed to be bright. He knows he's in a house with murderers. He knows he's in danger. He's even been warned to get out of the house. But does he go? No, he stays there. Now I ask you, doctor, is that what an intelligent person would do?
You're asking me?
This actor in the play didn't even have enough sense to be frightened, to be on guard. For instance, the murderer invites him to sit down.
Oh, you mean the actor says, won't you sit down on the sofa in front of these curtains?
Something like that.
Himmel, so why don't you sit on the sofa too?
It's been a long night and I'm tired. I think I will. Now, mind you, this fellow's supposed to be bright. He sits just like this, waiting to be trussed up. And what do you think they used to tie him up with?
What?
A curtain cord.
Well, why not? A good idea, very convenient.
A little too convenient. And the murderer is standing concealed behind curtains just like these. When are playwrights going to use some imagination? Ha! The curtain cord.
So, is this actor, he didn't see the bad guy get the cord?
See him? He sat there with his back to him. That's the kind of stuff we have to suffer through night after night. And they say the critics are killing the theater. It's the playwrights who are killing the theater. So there he sits The big dope. This fellow's supposed to be bright, just waiting to be trussed up and gagged. Ah!
Oh dear. Jonathan has craftily emerged from behind the curtain, trussed Mortimer up in the curtain cord, and stuffed a gag in his mouth.
You're right about that fella. He wasn't very bright. Hey, just like Chicago.
Mortimer, if you don't mind, we'll finish this story. I've been away for 20 years. Never once in all that time, my dear brother, were you out of my mind. Now, Doctor, we go to work.
Oh, please, Johnny, for me, the quick way.
Doctor, this must really be an artistic achievement. After all, we are performing before a very distinguished critic.
Oh, I got half a drink. I can't do this without a drink.
Pull yourself together, Doctor.
I got to have a drink. When we walked in here this afternoon, there was wine here. Remember, where did she put that? Oh, here. Yeah, see. Look, Johnny, we got a drink. That's all there is. I split it with you. We both need a drink.
Mortimer, I realize now it was you who brought me back to Atlanta. Einstein, pour me a toast to my dear, soon-to-be departed brother.
Yeah. Oh, ah.
The proclamation has been signed. Charge!
Damn that idiot. He goes next. That's all. He goes next.
Oh, no, Johnny, not Teddy. That's fair stop, not Teddy.
We get to Teddy later.
Oh, we don't get to him at all.
Now we got to work fast.
Yeah, the quick way, Johnny, please.
Yes, Doctor, the quick way.
Mein Gott, it's that cop.
Hey, Miss Brewster, the colonel's got to quit blowing that horn.
It's all right, officer. We're taking the bugle away from him.
Mein Gott, 2 more cops.
Hey, O'Hara, there you are.
Yeah, O'Hara, you better report to the station. Rooney's out looking for you. Something about the photo you ID'd? You think it's some perp we've been looking for?
Yeah, but I don't know about that. Guy looked a lot like Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein's already locked up.
Wait a second. Isn't that Mr. Brewster? How come he's all tied up? You want I should untie you, Mr. Brewster?
Yes!
We heard you got engaged to that minister's daughter. Heard the minister wasn't too happy about it. If you ask me, this here is an extreme reaction. You want we should go over and maybe nail him for assault?
No, it's fine. Thank God you're here.
We came to warn the old ladies that there's hell to pay. The colonel blew the bugle again in the middle of the night.
From the way the neighbors have been calling in about it, you'd think the Koreans had dropped a bomb on Peachtree Street.
Lieutenant's on the warpath. He says the colonel's got to be put away someplace. So who the hell is this guy?
That's my brother.
Oh, the one that ran away? He came back?
Yes, he came back.
Well, I better call this in. This is Brothy. Get me Mac. I better let them know we found him. Mac, tell the lieutenant he can call off the big manhunt. We got him in the Brewster house. Do you want us to bring him in? Oh, all right. We'll hold him here. Lieutenant's on his way over.
Oh dear, the curse of the guilty conscience. Brophy and Klein have been looking for O'Hara, who is needed at the police station to help with the identification of a perp who looks like that scoundrel, Harvey Weinstein. But Jonathan has heard otherwise.
I've been turned in, eh? All right, you've got me. And I suppose you and that stool pigeon brother of mine will split the reward?
Reward? I was talking about finding O'Hara. No reward for turning in O'Hara.
Jonathan isn't listening. He's out for revenge.
Now I'll do some turning in. You think my aunts are charming old ladies, don't you? Well, there are 13 bodies buried in the cellar.
No, it's Teddy. Teddy. It's all Teddy.
What the hell are you talking about?
You better be careful about what they're saying about your aunts. They happen to be friends of ours.
I'll show you. I'll prove it to you. You come to the cellar with me.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
13 bodies. I'll show you where they're buried.
Oh, yeah?
Come down to the cellar. I'll show you.
Go on down to the cellar with him, Klein.
I'm not so sure I want to be down in the cellar with him. Look at that puss. He looks like Harvey Wine. Whoa! Hey, what the hell? Hey, Brophy, get him off me.
Doing? What do you think you're doing?
Jonathan hits the floor after Brophy clocks him one with a blackjack. His temper always did get the better of him, but Jonathan really shouldn't have tried to strangle poor old Officer Klein.
Hey,
The arrival of the head of the precinct, Lieutenant Rooney, puts an entirely different urgency into the situation.
Hey, what the hell are you men doing here? I told you I was going to handle this.
Well, sir, we were just about to.
What happened? Did he put up a fight? What knocked him out?
No, Lieutenant. This ain't the guy that blows the bugle. This is the brother. He tried to strangle Klein.
All I said was he looked like that scoundrel, Harvey Weinstein. There's a lot of that going around.
Turn him over.
We kind of think he's wanted somewhere.
Oh, you kind of think he's wanted somewhere? If you guys don't look at the circulars we hang up in the station, at least you could watch the cops on TV. You bet you're behind he's wanted. In Indiana, he escaped from prison for the criminally insane. He's a lifer, for goodness sakes. That's how he's described. He looks like that scoundrel Harvey Weinstein.
Was there a reward mentioned?
Yeah, and I'm claiming it.
He was trying to get us down in the cellar.
He said there was 13 bodies buried down there.
13 bodies buried in the cellar, and you didn't tip you off that he came out of the nut house?
I thought all along he talked crazy.
Get out of here. Take that guy into the kitchen and dump some cold water on him and wake him up. While you're at it, see what you can find out about his accomplice. The guy has helped him escape. He's wanted too. No wonder Atlanta's in the shape it's in, with the police falling for that kind of story. 13 bodies buried in the cellar.
But there are 13 bodies in the cellar.
Who are you?
I'm President Roosevelt.
What the heck is this?
He's the fellow that blows the bugle.
Good morning, Mr. President.
Well, Mr. President, you've blown your last bugle.
Dear me, is Jonathan another yellow fever victim?
What?
All the bodies in the cellar are yellow fever victims. Is Jonathan on the floor here one as well? I must admit that I'm not all that sorry to see him struck down.
No, Mr. President, this is the spy we caught in the White House.
Will you get that guy out of here? Take him in the kitchen and pour some cold water on him.
And the unfortunate Jonathan is trussed up and dragged away, feet first.
If there's any questioning of spies, that's my department.
You keep out of this.
You're forgetting, as president, I'm also head of the Secret Service.
Lieutenant, I'm Mortimer Brewster.
Are you sure?
I'd like to talk to you about my brother Teddy here. He's the one that blows the bugle.
Mr. Brewster, we aren't going to discuss that. He's got to be put away.
I quite agree with you. In fact, it's all arranged. I had these commitment papers signed by Dr. Gilchrist, our family physician. Teddy has signed them himself, you see, and I've signed them as next of kin.
Where's he going?
Happydale.
All right. I don't care where he goes, as long as he goes.
Oh, he's going all right. But I want you to know that everything that's happened around here Teddy is responsible for. Now, those 13 bodies in the cellar?
Yeah. Those 13 bodies in the cellar. Isn't it enough that the neighbors are all afraid of him? Not to mention that he disturbs the flippin' peace with that bugle. Can you imagine what would happen if that cockeyed story about the 13 bodies in the cellar got around? And now he's starting a yellow fever scare. Cute, pretty cute.
Yeah, 13 bodies. Do you think anybody would believe that story?
Well, you can't tell. Some people are just dumb enough. You don't know what to believe sometimes. About a year ago, a crazy guy starts a murder rumor up in Buckhead, and I had to dig up a half-acre lot just to prove that.
It's been a very long night, and now the morning has arrived, so has the promised visitor from Happydale, Mr. Witherspoon, who is accompanied by the loving and incredible patient, Elaine.
Hello, darling.
Oh, hold on. Okay, hold on. We gotta start the recording again.
I thought it was unmuted.
Hello, darling.
Good morning, Mortimer.
Good morning, Elaine.
This is Mr. Witherspoon. He's come to meet Teddy.
To meet Teddy?
Mr. Witherspoon is the superintendent of Happydale.
Oh, come right in. This is Lieutenant,
Rooney. I'm Lieutenant Rooney. I'm glad you're here, Witherspoon, because you're taking him back today.
Today? That's rather hasty.
Not today.
Look, Elaine, I've got a lot of business to attend to, so you run along home. I'll call you.
Nuts to that. I am staying right here.
I had no idea it was this immediate.
The papers are all signed. He goes today, and he goes to the clink.
Complete insubordination. Your men will find out I'm no mollycoddle. When the President of the United States is treated like that, what's this country coming to?
There's your man, Super. Throw a net over him and haul him off.
Just a minute, Mr. President. I have very good news for you. Your term of office is over.
Is it January 20th?
Practically.
Oh, great. Then I can go on my hunting trip to Africa. Well, I must get started immediately. Is he trying to move into the White House before I've moved out?
Who, Teddy?
That rascal Taft.
This isn't Mr. Taft, Teddy. This is Mr. Witherspoon. He's to be your guide in Africa.
Bully, I'll bring down my equipment. Goodbye, Aunt Abby. Goodbye, Aunt Martha. I'm on my way to Africa. Isn't it wonderful? Charge!
Teddy goes upstairs to pack as the aunts emerge from their bedrooms.
Good morning, darlings. I see you up there. Why don't you come on in?
Oh, look, we have visitors.
This is Lieutenant Rooney.
How do you do, Lieutenant? My, you don't look like that fuss bucket that all of the policemen say you are.
You know why the lieutenant is here? I'm afraid Teddy blew his bugle again last night.
Yes, we're going to speak to Teddy about that.
It's a little more serious than that, Miss Brewster.
And you haven't met Mr. Witherspoon. He's the superintendent of Happydale.
Oh, Mr. Witherspoon, how do you do?
You've come to meet Teddy.
He's come to take Teddy.
Aunties, the police want Teddy to go there today.
Oh, no.
Not while we're alive.
I'm sorry, Miss Brewster, but it has to be done. The papers are all signed, and he's going with the superintendent.
Well, we won't permit it. And we promised to make him stop blowing that bugle.
We will not be separated from our Teddy.
I'm sorry, ladies, but the law is the law. He's committed himself, and he's going.
Well, if he goes, we're going too.
Yes, you'll just have to take us with him.
Well, why not?
Well, that's sweet of them to want to, but it's impossible. You see, we can't take sane people at Happydale.
Mr. Witherspoon, if you let us live there with Teddy, we'll see that Happydale is in our will and for a very generous amount.
Well, the Lord knows we could use the money, but I'm afraid.
Let's be sensible about this, ladies. For instance, here I am wasting my morning. I've got serious work to do. You know there are murders to be solved in Atlanta.
Yes. Oh, are there?
It isn't only that bugle blowing. The neighbors are afraid of him and things will keep getting worse. Sooner or later, we'll be put to the trouble of digging up your cellar.
Our cellar?
Yeah, your nephew's been saying there are 13 bodies buried in your cellar.
But there are 13 bodies buried in our cellar.
If you think that's why Teddy has to go away, you come down to the cellar with us and we'll prove it to you.
There's one Mr. Spinalza who does not belong here and who will have to leave, but the other 12 are our gentlemen.
I don't think the lieutenant wants to go down in the cellar. He was telling me that only last year he had to dig up a half-acre lot, weren't you, Lieutenant? And all you got was really sweaty.
That's right, Mortimer.
Oh, you wouldn't have to dig. The graves are all marked. Why, we even put flowers on them every Sunday.
Flowers, Superintendent, don't you think you can find a room for these ladies?
Well,
You come along with us and we'll show you the graves.
I'll take your word for it, lady. I'm a busy man. How about it, Super?
Well, they'd have to be committed.
Teddy committed himself. Can't they commit themselves?
Why, I guess
They
so.
sign the papers?
I guess so.
Oh, if we can go with Teddy, we'll sign the papers. Where are they?
Yes, we will. Where are they?
With a sigh of relief, it's been quite an anxious couple of hours. Mortimer retrieves the commitment papers. In the meantime, Officer Klein pokes his head into the living room from the kitchen.
He's coming around, Lieutenant.
Well, good morning, Officer Klein. I do hope you found some coffee in the kitchen.
Yes, good morning, Officer Klein. I didn't know you were here too.
Yeah, Brophy and me have got your other nephew out in the kitchen. Out cold, that is.
Well, sign them up, Superintendent. I want to get this all cleaned up. 13 bodies. Sheesh.
Miss Martha, if you'll sign right here.
And you here, Aunt Abby.
I'm really looking forward to going. The neighborhood has so changed.
Just think of front lawn Abbey instead of a cemetery again.
Oh, we're overlooking something.
What's that?
Well, we're going to need a signature of a doctor.
Oh, Dr. Einstein. Didn't see you there hiding behind the curtain. Come out. We'd like you to sign some papers.
Please, I must be off to see a man about a horse.
Not until you sign here.
Were you leaving, Doctor?
Aren't you going to wait for Jonathan?
I don't think we're going to the same place.
Not if you sign these papers. There. Good. We're almost wrapped up. And now I can say, hello, Elaine. I'm glad to see you. Stick around, huh?
Don't worry, I'm going to.
I'm calling the station to bring this Weinstein character in. Hello, Mac. It's Rooney. We picked up that guy that's wanted in Atlanta. Now, there's a description of his accomplice. It's right on your desk there. Read it to me. Yeah? About 54, 5'6", 120 pounds, blue eyes, talks with a German accent, poses as a doctor. Thanks, Matt. We'll sweat this Weinstein character later when we bring him in and find out where that accomplice has got to.
It's all right, Lieutenant. The doctor here has just completed the signatures.
Good. I'll just go into the kitchen and get things wrapped up. And thanks, ma'am. You're really doing Atlanta a service.
Oh, no trouble, Dad. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye-bye.
Einstein slips away, never to be seen again.
I'll sign right now. Right here.
That's fine.
That makes everything complete. Everything legal.
Oh, yes.
Well, aunties, now you're safe.
When do you think you'll be ready to move in?
Well, Mr. Witherspoon, why don't you go upstairs with Teddy and just tell him what he can take along?
Upstairs?
I'll show you.
No, Mortimer, you stay here. We want to talk to you.
Yes, Mr. Witherspoon, just upstairs and turn to the left.
Obligingly, Mr. Witherspoon escorts the president, Teddy, upstairs. One could only wish that all transitions of executive power were accomplished this easily.
Well, Mortimer, now that we're moving, this house will really be yours.
Yes, dear. We really want you to live here.
No, Aunt Abby. This house is too full of memories.
But you'll need a home when you and Elaine are married.
Darlings, that's very indefinite.
Oh, it's nothing of the kind. We're going to be married right away.
Mortimer, are you worried about something?
Now, darlings, you're going to love it at Happydale.
Oh, yes, we're happy. We're very happy about the whole thing. That's just it. We don't want anything to go wrong.
Why, will they investigate those signatures?
Don't worry. They're not going to lock up Dr. Einstein. They thought she was a he. Did you see her walk out of here scot-free?
No, Mortimer, it's not her signatures, dear. It's yours.
You see, Mortimer, you signed as next of kin.
Of course. Why not?
Well, dear, it's something we never wanted to tell you, but now it's something that Elaine should know too. You see, dear, you're not really a Brewster.
Your mother came to us as a cook, and you were born about 3 months later. But she was such a sweet woman, and she was a really good cook. We just didn't want to lose her, so our brother married her.
I'm not really a Brewster?
Oh, now don't feel badly about it, dear.
And Elaine, it won't make any difference to you.
Elaine, did you hear? Do you understand? I'm not a Brewster.
Well, now, I really must see about breakfast for you two.
Oh, no, Aunt Martha. Mortimer is coming over to my house. Father's going to Philadelphia, and Mortimer and I are going to, well, let's just say, have breakfast together.
Yes, I need some coffee. I've had quite a night.
Well, in that case, Mortimer, I think you would just want to go to bed.
I do.
Goodbye, Aunt Martha. Goodbye, Aunt Abby.
Mortimer and Elaine exit to live happily ever after, leaving only the cops and the now conscious Jonathan in the kitchen.
Come on through here, you. We won't need the wagon. My car's out front.
Oh, Jonathan, you're leaving now?
Yeah, he's going to Indiana, and there's some people there that want to take care of him for the rest of his life. Come on.
Well, Jonathan, it is just so nice to know that you have a place to go.
And we're leaving too.
Yes, we're going to Happydale.
And this house has seen the last of the Brewsters.
Unless Mortimer wants to live here.
Well, I have a suggestion to make. Why don't you turn the property over to the church?
Well, we never thought of that.
After all, it should be part of the cemetery.
All right, get going. I'm a busy man.
Goodbye, aunties. Well, I can't better my record now, but neither can you. At least I have that satisfaction. The score stands even, 12.
Jonathan too exits, although not quite so happily, accompanied by our friendly police force. In the meantime, Mr. Witherspoon has come downstairs, leaving the president, Teddy, happily packing his bugle.
Oh, Jonathan was always such a mean boy. Never could stand to see anyone get ahead of him.
Wish we could just show him that he isn't so smart. 12 indeed. Mr. Witherspoon, does your family live with you at Happydale?
I have no family.
Well, I suppose you consider everyone in Happydale your family.
I'm afraid you don't quite understand. As head of the institution, I have to be quite aloof.
Oh, that must make it very lonely for you.
Yes, it does, but my duty is my duty.
Well, Martha, if Mr. Witherspoon won't join us for breakfast, I think we should at least offer him a glass of elderberry wine.
Elderberry wine?
Ooh, we make it ourselves.
Well, yes, of course. At Happydale, our relationship will be much more formal. But here, well, you don't see much elderberry wine nowadays. Indeed, I thought I'd had my last glass of it.
It's just what you need.
Here it is. This will take you to your very own Happydale.
And as the curtain falls, so does Mr. Witherspoon.
Addie, we did it. That's number 13.
Shores players, thank you.
The Palm Beach Shores players, thank you.
The Palm Beach Shores players, thank you.
Thank you.
The Palm Beach Shores players, thank you.
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 All right, all right.